political parties had taken to the streets to protest against the aggression of the brutal Zionist regime. And we joined on the line this afternoon by Arshad Samodien from Youth for Al-Quds, and he is joining us live out of Cape Town this afternoon. Brother Arshad, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran for joining up with us, Ustad Inayat.
Yes, up on to you. And, alhamdulillah, you are able to join us on the Iftar Drive this afternoon. And today, obviously, being the last, inshallah, is we signal the end of the month of Ramadan. But again, as I mentioned, sadly, this Ramadan, we've seen that build up throughout the entire month of Ramadan, the problems in Palestine, the protests by these settlers, and right across the entire month, and culminating in the desecrating of Masjid al-Aqsa, defiling Masjid al-Aqsa, dishonoring Masjid al-Aqsa, and at the same time, the people of Palestine, the brave sons and daughters of Palestine who are there for a special mission, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it to them to protect Masjid al-Aqsa. But here in South Africa, doing our bit, we've seen these huge protests taking place. And if you could just take us through this protest in Cape Town yesterday, Brother Arshad.
Yes, definitely. Cape Town yesterday saw huge numbers coming out, men, women, elderly, many children, coming to show their support, and at the same time to register their sadness and their dissatisfaction as to what is happening, and their anger as to what has happened in and around Masjid al-Aqsa al-Mubarak for this complete month of Ramadan, and of course the war, the aggression on Gaza, showing us again that this enemy, the Zionist entity, has no desire for peace. The so-called only democracy in the Middle East, supported by the superpowers, it shows that it is very selective. They only desire peace at the expense of the pain of others. So the people of Cape Town came out in their numbers. In fact, the day before also there was a huge picket in front of Parliament, and yesterday the march was even much bigger. And also going into this weekend, there are many other events planned. It also shows us that we cannot keep our eyes off Masjid al-Aqsa al-Mubarak in Palestine, and this is as they say, the barometer of peace and justice in the world. And it is a fight for all noble and honorable people all over the world.
Yes, and obviously, Brother Arshad, also when one looks at ourselves and throughout the entire month of Ramadan, it has served us as a stark reminder in terms of the oceans of injustice that is taking place around the world. And when we see what has happened, in Palestine, we see what has happened in Gaza, and we've seen in South Africa how people have rallied together, and people from all walks of life, from across all denominations, who have basically supported and are still supporting the Palestinian cause from various political parties. And this is very, very encouraging to note that we in South Africa have got what it takes as a society, as a community, and as a country to stand up and speak out against these injustices against the people of Palestine.
That is so. And as you say, it is encouraging to see some of the leaders of many of the political parties out there yesterday. But it also shows us that we have not done enough as a country, as South Africa, and our political parties who take their roots in the liberation struggle. We have definitely not done enough on the international to voice our dissatisfaction with the occupation and the brutal handling and occupation of the Palestinians on a daily basis. And we have also not done enough as a government of South Africa to alleviate the plight of those under occupation. The world, in fact, South Africa, as we know, is looked up all over the world for its fight against apartheid here. And the apartheid in occupied Palestine is much worse. By the account of those who suffered the worst of the South African apartheid, namely Archbishop Desmond Tutu and others who have gone there and told us that it is much, much worse than the height of the apartheid that they suffered here. As they would say, for example, that apartheid never bombed people from the sky. Apartheid never bombed children and people in wheelchairs with F-16s and F-35 fighter jets as they come out of mosques. So South Africa, even though it is good to see some of the leaders there, it is not enough. We have not done enough, and we are telling the South African government that they need to wait for our demands, and the people of South Africa need to stand up and rise up and make their demands heard. We cannot go on. I think one of the messages from this Ramadan as to what has happened in Masjid Al-Aqsa is that we cannot go back to what it has been before. We cannot just wait for it to die down and we go back to our normal daily routines. Our eyes need to be fixed on Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak until its liberation.
Well, certainly, and I think this is exactly the point I wanted to raise, that, let us not have the soda water bottle effect. And the late Maulana Ihsan Hendricks, rahimahullah, always spoke about this in terms of not keeping our eyes off the ball, not taking our eyes off Masjid Al-Aqsa, because danger in Masjid Al-Aqsa is lurking everywhere from all sides. And that is the reason why when one looks at what has been achieved by people like Maulana Ihsan and the programs that they have, the Thursday programs, the fasting for Al-Aqsa, and it's a continuous, sustainable project over a period of time. And in more ways than one, it is not only about the love and the affection that we show for Masjid Al-Aqsa, but in terms of learning about its culture, about its history, and over the centuries, what has happened, and at the same time, appreciating the Palestinians for who they are, for what they are, and also the honor and the privilege that they have to protect the dignity of Al-Aqsa.
Definitely, it is in times like this that we salute and make dua for our leaders, namely Sheikh Maulana Ihsan Hendricks and the other giants that have paved the way for the liberation. In fact, what we are seeing now, we also have to give the good news to the Muslim Ummah specifically, that what we see now happening and unfolding around Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak is only a sign that we are moving much closer to the next level of the liberation. When this inhumane, racist, apartheid, Zionist entity moves in with its military might on innocent armed worshippers in the evening of Ramadan, it shows us that even at their own standards, they haven't been able to take over what they deem is sacred for them. And look how they do. Look how they want to do it, because they were established on war. They were established by war. They have only been expanded by war, and that is the only thing that they know. So they think to get more of Palestine, they need to increase and flex their muscles. But we know Allah Ta'ala will take them at the height of their power. So just as they think that they control everything and all of the world's superpowers are behind them, we tell the Muslim Ummah that it is actually at this height very soon that they will fall and their defeat will come. We ask Allah Ta'ala for it to be very soon, and that our next Ramadan and our next Eid be in a free and liberated Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. We are getting hope from those youth that are standing with their bare bodies. They inspire the world. They inspire the world. We are honored to say something that attaches us to them. They don't need us to say anything for them, but we are honored only that we're saying something that attaches us to their cause.
Well, inshallah, Ameen, and also looking at next Ramadan, inshallah, ittikaf in Masjid Al-Aqsa, inshallah. That is the intention, Brother Arshad.
We hope that it will be a million Muslims all over the world coming for ittikaf there, so that they know that they can do that it's not only the Palestinians on their own, but this belongs to the Ummah, the Muslims globally, and they will not allow this to happen again, inshallah, Ameen.
Jazakallah so much, Brother Arshad. And as we say on the occasion of Eid, Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us and from you as well for the wonderful work that you've been doing. And Alhamdulillah, Allah make it easy for you, inshallah. And as we have just experienced this noble and glorious month of Ramadan, we seek Allah's guidance, His mercy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Allah elevate you, inshallah, grant you the strength, the health, the sincerity, and the ability to continue to please Him only. And at the same time, the people of Palestine and all the work that you are doing, alhamdulillah, to ease their plight and to make life, inshallah, easy for our brothers and sisters.
Ameen, Ameen. And we tell the whole ummah, like you said, Taqabbalallah minna minkum Eid Mubarak, and let the ummah know that this cause is what unites us. Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak represents our heart, and it is what needs to unite us and must unite us. Jazakumullah khairan.
Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
That brings us at 4:24 p.m. Brother Arshad Samodien, a youth for Al-Quds, joining us this afternoon, giving us some context again into the problems that the people of Palestine are faced with at the hands of this brutal, this merciless Zionist army. Now, we're going to go across after the break to Professor Mia Swar, international law expert and a producer at the Al Jazeera Center for Public Liberties and Human Rights. Are we talking about the ongoing problems from an international law perspective with regards to Israel and Palestine?
Salam Media, your link to a spiritual Ramadan. أنت بالتحدي تصنع المستحيل.
From the townships of South Africa, the refugee camps in Syria, or orphanages in Yemen, the eyes of the needy speak volumes with just one glare. We know what it's like to be at ground zero, with food essentials, clothing and blankets, fresh water portal trucks, and even on-site navigators. We use every cent to better their tomorrow. Become part of our journey to bring relief to all. Go to www.ashrafulaid.org or call us on 011-809-8181. Ashraful Aid, under the auspices of Maulana Suhail Wadi.
Are you looking for a cross-border road transport company that is committed in achieving high safety standards, who is fast and efficient, and also excel in customer service? Gardi Global specializes in cross-border transport from South Africa